debate that new mandate. There are plenty of them actually out there tonight with Hometown Values PAC co-chairman Ethan Behrman, Project 21 co-chair Horace Cooper, and KTTH Seattle radio talk show host Jason Rantz. And Jason, I'll start with you because Washington State is getting seriously tight when it comes to some of this stuff. I don't know what your Thanksgiving plans are, but you probably should just cancel them.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is kind of canceled here. The governor has banned all social gatherings unless you go through a 14-day quarantine and get tested. Now, of course, it's unenforceable, but the things that are enforceable are the closure of all restaurants starting tomorrow night at midnight, all bars as well. Grocery stores and other retail has to go to 25% occupancy. And the problem with this is that they're not actually responsible for the cases that we've had in Washington State. The surges are not a result of people catching them at grocery stores or at restaurants. It's due to social gatherings. And so we've closed the places where people are going, where they've been actually successful with mitigation to push people inside where they haven't.
And people are frustrated for a number of reasons. Everybody wants to be safe, especially want to protect those around them who would be the most vulnerable. But when they see continued leaders out there not obeying the own rules that they've set, I think of D.C.'s mayor, I think of Chicago's mayor, I think of questions raised today about Illinois' governor that he wasn't able to answer, and of course Gavin Newsom, who has now apologized for that dinner that he had in Chicago. But here's this, the Wall Street Journal editorial board saying this: the problem is, speaking of Newsom, that he and many politicians require the hoi polloi to follow strict virus rules that they don't abide by themselves. No wonder so many Americans ignore politicians and other elites who lecture them about wearing masks and following COVID-19 rules as a moral duty. Ethan.
Well, first of all, I was very angry with Governor Newsom. It is reprehensible that he went to the French Laundry, one of the most expensive restaurants in America, for a party not following his own rules. But absent that, we shouldn't be listening to people like the governor. We should be listening to the epidemiologists like Mr. Osterholm, who you were just playing. Look, the facts are overwhelming, and that is how we spread diseases. We knew this winter was coming. We knew based on the 1918-1919 flu that it was going to be really bad when winter came. And we also knew that if we weren't going to listen to basic epidemiological advice, which is wear a mask, keep some distance, wash your hands thoroughly and regularly, these very basic steps, which we had no leadership out of Washington on either, actually just the opposite, mocking it and making fun of it. Look, we're in a position where 250,000 Americans are dead. We're facing another 100 to 150,000 who are going to die by the end of the year, but instead we're going to mock it and make fun of it. No, my in-laws can wait till next year's Thanksgiving so they can survive. Who's mocking and making fun of it if they go out and do things that they're telling us not to do? Because to Horace, to a lot of people, that feels like regular people being mocked. We got two problems. We have people on the right making fun of it, including the outgoing president who mocked mask wearing again recently.
I'm named Horace here, just so we're clear.
Let me bring Horace in here, because for a lot of people out there, they see these leaders who are telling them what to do, and they're not doing it, but they're telling you you cannot have Thanksgiving or Christmas. And that's hard for people to swallow when they don't see it being modeled by the people setting the rules.
Caviar for me, limits for thee. How many people actually are going to die when people say, hey, it's not on the level? These aren't real restrictions. It's actually very critical if you're going to make the kinds of demands that we're seeing, that you lead by example. That's far worse, this hypocrisy, than any undermining of the overall effort that we're attributing to this administration.
Okay, Horace, I want to ask you, because you were at these weekend events in downtown D.C. I wasn't there. I've seen a lot of videos, a lot of it very disturbing. What can you tell us, because you were there? I want to hear it firsthand from you.
Well, a couple things. I actually was in law school here in Washington, D.C. when the Million Man March came to town. This was bigger. When you look at what happened during the inauguration week in 2016 with the people wearing the pink hats, this was multiple times bigger. The thing about it is, like you have seen in some other settings, like when the Tea Party held some of their marches, the places looked better when they left than when they arrived. You didn't see a mess, and most importantly, you didn't see fires, you didn't see looting, and it wasn't until dark that those elements that have been terrorizing our cities all summer showed up and began to act out. This is quite telling.
I want to play a little video from Scooby-Doo Stu, who has a little bit of the video. This is where fireworks were being thrown to people who were eating on sidewalks, because, you know, that's one of the best options we have here in D.C., because you can't eat at, you know, fully packed restaurants. So here's a bit of that. Quick final comment from you, Jason.
I'm not shocked by what we saw. I mean, as Horace pointed out, we've seen this over the course of the last several months. What I'm annoyed by are the insufferable comments coming from folks on the left who want to pretend that now we shouldn't be talking about this because the peaceful protest line didn't quite work. Now it's shouldn't be talking about this because COVID. You can talk about two different things at once, and we can still have meaningful conversations on both sides.
All right, Jason, Horace, Ethan, come back for more meaningful conversations. In the meantime, be careful out there. Good to see you all.
Thank you.